Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to your horoscope for the week of November 8th, 2015. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. Well, it's an active sky this week. Lots is going on, lots of exciting developments, and this really is about, I think, it's about maximizing potential, figuring out intelligent action, intelligent ways to move forward, getting that clarity we need to understand how we can make the most of where we are, develop the talents that we have, and also make good things come about that especially lead to some very fortunate beginnings. So all of that is on offer this week. What we have happening this week, one of the things that is happening this week is Venus and Mars. If you'll remember last week, they met, they had like a precise moment in the sky, if you will. And this week, both of them, each one at a time, will move into the sign of Libra. So they're changing signs. They met, they had their moment, now they're changing signs, moving into Libra. And this is going to change our focus. On the one hand, Libra is the sign, one of the signs that is home to Venus. That means that Venus can be more comfortable, right? Whenever you come home, you feel a little bit more comfortable. Ideally, that's what home is supposed to be. Well, Venus comes into Libra, is able to bring out this whole other side of herself, the more elevated, if you will, analytical, considering higher forms of beauty and your values where it comes to beauty as well. But also love in all its different forms come about when Venus moves into this part of the sky. And plus we have Mars moving into this part of the sky as well. Now, the sign of Libra also has to do with diplomacy. So Venus is about basically what we're enjoying, right? What are we having fun with? What type of things are we talking about sort of as a collective that are light and about the enjoyment of life? Well, in the sign of Libra, we're talking about love and relationships. And so we should see some discussions take place, even a little bit more heightened than usual, especially that have to do with fairness, and especially like fairness among the genders as well. Where it comes to Mars, though, Mars has to do with, of course, is action. It can be a spiritual warrior, a sacred warrior, but also it can be conflict as well. And when Mars moves into the sign of Libra, diplomacy is the preferred tactic. So we should notice now as Mars moves into a sign of Libra, that tends to take more of our energy, more of our focus. More people are going to start talking about the diplomatic way forward and considering lots of different perspectives to find a way forward ultimately that works for lots of different people or all the different people involved. And in our own lives as well, wherever it is that maybe we felt a little bit of conflict, this is going to be a time when we're more willing, or we start to be more willing to consider other perspectives, which is always a good thing, right? There's always a whole bunch of ways to look at things. And the thing is that right about now, there's also such the very strong potential for making a deal that sticks, making a deal that lasts, and that really has a transformative effect in our collective. Yes, we should notice this, but also in our personal lives as well. And that's because of some other things that are happening in the sky. And that's mainly because we have got the sun and Mercury and the new moon, okay? All of these are sort of meeting together, right? Well, the moon meeting the sun is the new moon. That's what brings the new moon about. And Mercury is right there in the mix as well. Now, what is happening is that Mercury and the sun and this new moon are speaking in harmony with Pluto and Jupiter, okay? This is actually an energy that started last week when we had that precision moment of conversation between the sun and Pluto. But this week, that energy continues, and now Mercury gets into the mix with that particular conversation. So keep in mind also that Jupiter and Pluto are having this rare, very fortunate conversation right about now. And this conversation started really in October, reached its first peak moment in late October, so not that long ago, and will continue right until the middle of next year. And so these planets are going to dance. Right now they're sort of widening, you know, their stance across each other, or rather in harmony with each other, but still they are in this supremely harmonious conversation. Now this new moon, Mercury and Sun are part of and creating, between Jupiter and Pluto, what is called a triangle of potential. Okay, now this is not a major configuration, not one of those big major configurations that astrologers like to talk about, like the grand trine or the grand square, but it still is important, and it still has the potential to be really powerful, because this is about bringing to awareness, bringing to clarity, bringing to consciousness how it is that we actually can tap into the power of that supremely harmonious and rare conversation taking place between Pluto and Jupiter. So Pluto and Jupiter speaking is really supportive all around, wherever it is that you want to make gains. And as I've spoken about in the Jupiter special, this really is giving that Jupiter that much more potency, that much more power, that much more juice to bring its blessings about. But it's also encouraging us to make the changes that need to happen so that Jupiter can deliver those very blessings. Well, with Mercury, the Sun, and the new moon involved in this dance now, it is that we see what we can do to help ourselves. So it gives us some power, it gives us some control. It helps us to see how it is we can help ourselves, what talents we can develop, what skills we need to understand, where it is that maybe we need to reach out to other people or to make some changes in our own life if we are going to gain maximum benefit from wherever it is in your life that Jupiter is trying to bless your life. It's about allowing change, but also earning that change so that you earn those gains. It isn't about great things just falling into your lap. Okay, that tends to happen with Uranus, right? Uranus making harmonious conversations with other planets does sort of bring things up by surprise. They just sort of show up for you. And especially when it's a harmonious conversation, you like what shows up for you. But this isn't so much about that. This is about actually earning the change that you desire. So it isn't about getting a thing, but it's about becoming the person that you are meant to, who can be the type of person who would have that thing, or be that type of person, or have the success, or have the prosperity, or whatever the case may be. Fill in the blank. This is going to be the keys to change showing themselves, and some very quick validation as well. And very likely a brand new opportunity showing up. And that's because of the new moon that's happening this week. So in the middle of this week, we have a new moon happening in the sign of Scorpio, happening with Mercury in the sky. So, I mean, talk about clarity, talk about the right conversation that just gets us thinking clearly and right, and gets us to appreciate where we have power and where it is that we can practice more surrender, and how that all can help us to create greater blessings in our life. So this new moon is promising new opportunities, new beginnings, possibly contracts, agreements involved in this as well. This is Scorpion energy, okay? So Sun, Mercury, and new moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is, on the one hand, it is about regeneration, right? It is about the, like I like to say, the life, death, rebirth cycle. It's about beginning again, if you will. It's about letting go of what you don't need and remembering what really matters, what is essential, and moving forward from there. But also this sign and all this energy has to do with money. It has to do with prosperity. It has to do with power, however you understand that. Whether that's power that you understand in a more personal sense, in terms of personal power and influence that you may have over your own life, or wherever it is you desire to make an impact, or if this has to do with financial power as well. That can be one way that this energy plays out. So conversations, agreements that ultimately lead to greater prosperity, or get us to look at what we believe about prosperity and what we deserve with that, and allowing us to create changes that move us in that direction. Spiritual prosperity, emotional prosperity, and practical abundance as well. All are promised under this particular new moon, and all these wonderful conversations that are taking place. Also this week with Venus, Venus is speaking in harmony with Saturn. I really love this because, as I said, we have got Venus, and soon Mars will speak in a harmony with Saturn as well. I'll be here to talk about it then, of course, as we move forward in the weeks to come. But the fact that we have got all this like energy of diplomacy and fairness, speaking with a planet, Saturn, that has to do with stability, that has to do with certainty, which has to do with gains that last, efforts that actually tangibly change things. It isn't about a dream. It isn't about what's so beautiful and so wonderful, but it is about seeing things change in our lives as individuals, in the world. And it is about understanding what is going to create, and all of this energy actually, I think, with Venus speaking with Saturn, with Jupiter slowly easing, though not perfecting right now, easing towards a conversation with Saturn as well. And then all this, Scorpion energy speaking with Jupiter and Pluto. To me, all of this says that we are thinking about and moving towards change that is meaningful, change that gets to the core of an issue, and change that isn't going to be fleeting, but rather has the real potential to last and make a profound difference in our lives, whether it's in your life as an individual or in all our lives as a collective as well. Great turnarounds, bright new beginnings are very possible now if you work with the energy. See where it is that the universe is trying to hand you some keys, trying to point the way. Be sensitive to that, be in tune to that, and very quickly you'll be taking action, and very quickly you'll start noticing gains, and you'll start noticing the universe working overtime really to bless your life as well. Well, thank you so much for watching that introduction. I'm truly so grateful for it. Please like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, right? Share. I love all of that. Thank you so much. You guys are so supportive. I love interacting with you guys. Facebook, Twitter, Google+, my website, nadiyashah.com. And of course, the YouTube comments as well. Sometimes I'm asked questions that are a little bit more personal, and that's where the personalized horoscopes come in. So as you know, I've been talking about as we've been going along week to week. I am working on some things. I'm very excited about it. And a lot of stuff that's going to really start to take place as the moon becomes new this week. But it is going to be in next week's horoscope that I will be sharing some new stuff with you guys, and I hope that you love it. Again, it's just about expanding my understanding of what it is that I'm meant to do. And I really believe with all my heart that I am meant to affirm in the world that the universe is wise and loving. The universe is wise and loving. Everything I do, everything I share is a part of fulfilling that mission in the world. And you being here and you watching this allows me to do that. And I'm truly, truly so grateful for it. It really is everything. And I hope that these videos that you watch on YouTube in some way infuse your life with hope, inspiration, and that exact reminder. The universe is wise and loving. So some logistical stuff, the personalized horoscopes, as I've been letting you guys know as we go along. If you want to have your personalized horoscope at the lower price, so I've got personalized horoscopes. You can order it at the lowest price. It's 2 months, right? It's a 2-month order. Then there's a 2-week rush order, and then there's a 2-day deluxe package currently available. So it's the 2-month order, which is the lower priced order. If you would like me to look at your unique birth chart, give you feedback based on your unique situation, it would be such a privilege to do that. I'd be honored to do that. In that case, please do consider a personalized horoscope where I can do just that. So this week, that lower priced option will continue to be offered, but at some point in the middle of the week will be paused for a little while. So the rush orders, the deluxe order will still be available, but it is the regular 2-month order that will be paused. And if you do place your order this week, then you will get your personalized horoscope by New Year's Eve. So you have that as sort of your burst of inspiration as you're stepping into a new year for you. So if that's something you want, that would be amazing. And again, it would be an absolute privilege. The personalized horoscopes, the regular orders, there have been so many. I'm so grateful for it. Thank you so much for your trust. And so they have been running a little bit late, like about a week late. Now I'm starting to catch up more and more as I'm just sort of making it part of my routine every day to do a few, because I definitely, when I make a promise, it is done. And I promised you guys, if you ordered by the end of October, you would get it by Christmas Eve, and you will. And if you order this week, in the early part of the week, you will get it by New Year's Eve as well. And there's 3 new areas of focus that you guys love. They've just I've been getting such amazing feedback. Thank you. It has to do with love and luck, money, career and luck, and life purpose focused readings as well. So how all this wonderful stuff, all the astrological adventures happening in the sky now speak to you and your sign is coming up right now. Hello, fabulous Aries. This week we have got some energy there that is speaking to a deepening of commitment. And that deepening of commitment is not only to another person and not only on the level of heart, but also a deepening of commitment to the work that you want to do and the changes that you desire to achieve towards moving towards a better life, towards your higher goals, and towards feeling a greater sense of just enjoying your life more, or feeling more in alignment with what you could consider a higher purpose for your life. So lots of stuff is changing and lots of opportunities are likely to be presented to you now as part of understanding your way forward. Some of these opportunities really are going to be a beginning, just the beginning. It's about planting that seed, and you will have to be working on it, you know, sort of considering how you're going to nurture this idea or opportunity or promise. Very possible right now, very possible right now that a boss would come to you and say to you, look, if you do this, then you will be eligible for this kind of raise. Or if you do that, then you can move up the ladder, be a supervisor, whatever the case may be. But it looks very positive. It looks like there's lots of support around you, and there's a lot of promise of and a lot of potential of making yourself richer. In some cases, that's practically richer as well. It may take a full 6 months for all of the ideas and opportunities and things that you initiate now to fully come to fruition. But it is now that the clarity happens. It is now that the right conversation at the right time and running into the right person happens as well. If you are trying to get a loan, if you want a loan or a grant for anything that you desire to achieve, whether it's from a financial institution or whether it's just, you know, asking someone in your family that you know has money, whatever the case may be, this is a good week to do the asking. So wait until the middle of the week, and after that, you've got some really supportive days to actually do the asking. What's also really great about this week, as I said, matters of heart. So not only do you have professional recognition and promise of growth and success and change, but also where it comes to matters of heart, it'll start to feel like things are stabilizing within you and in your outer circumstances as well. If you are in an established bond, you are going to feel this energy more than others might, of different sort of relationship status, if you will. So if you're in an established bond, that element of deepening that commitment, of feeling that much closer to this person, of feeling like this person really does provide you with that security that you need in a world that can be really changeable, this is going to be one of those moments. This week promises those types of moments. For those of you who are just getting to know somebody or open to meeting somebody new, the energy right now is not flirty energy, to be honest. There's like no flirty energy for you this week. The energy really is serious, long-term, big picture, thinking about what you desire to have as part of the bigger picture of your life and where it is that you believe you're going where it comes to matters of heart. Any connections you make now will be with people who have that possibility and have that potential to hang around for a while. It's the potential to last. It's the potential to see yourself with this person for a long time to come. That's going to either keep you or keep you away. But also this has to do with the steadying within you as well. A part of you inside that's starting to think about the bigger picture of your life, thinking about where you're going, and thinking about what needs to happen so that even greater things can manifest further down the road. That's going to be a big part of your focus in matters of heart. And anyone that you meet now has to fit in with that. And if they don't, then that really is going to be okay with you. You really are going to be at peace with that, because you're starting to appreciate, and more you will as the weeks go along, that you actually do have a lot of options where it comes to love. Hello, fabulous Taurus. This week, we have got your ruling planet changing signs. Now, your ruling planet is moving into a part of the sky for you that has to do with your routines. It has to do with self-care, but it also has to do with the workplace and what's happening in that work environment for you as well. So all of that is about to get a lot sweeter. The work, the interactions, if you're self-employed, the clients that you're attracting, your own enthusiasm and the energy you give and the long-term potential that you feel with the work that you're doing is really going to start to come through right about now. Because the things that you're working on now very likely will bless your life for a very long time to come, not just in the immediacy. So it looks like you're putting your heart into it, and if you put your love and your heart into what you're doing, you are going to have that much more success come about. Where it comes to you manifesting this energy, some of you will through the work that you do, some of you will through the workplace, where it starts to feel a place that's a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more steady. You start to feel more valued as well, just more grounded in the workplace, like you know what you're doing and you're in that flow of understanding as well. So you're in that energy. That's awesome. For others, this is going to manifest in terms of self-care, understanding what it is that you really need on a physical level, but also on a daily level in terms of the little rituals that you do to affirm a sense of self-value. So all of that is going to be up for consideration, and it looks like some gentle changes, some loving changes that truly are small can have a really lasting effect and a profound effect at that. With Mars also moving into this part of the sky, a part of you is going to be downright energetic. So if you are, feeling a lot of energy, if you're feeling really motivated, which you very well might be, to make changes on a physical level, this would be a great time to get more active and to make that happen for yourself. Where it comes to matters of love, it really is all about that new moon. And I talked about that extensively in the love-focused horoscope for the month of November. So you may want to watch that, because really this is when that energy is really heightened that I speak about in that particular video. But it's all about this new moon in your opposite sign. If you're with somebody, this is going to feel like a fresh start, a new beginning based on talking, a meeting of minds, if you will. If you are open to meeting somebody new or just getting to know someone, a new moon in your opposite sign does mean that someone is there. Someone is going to show up, because a big part of your learning right about now is going to be seeing yourself as reflected in the eyes of another, understanding yourself as you relate to another person. So this can be a time of a wonderful new beginning. This can be a time of a lot of clarity as well, that helps you understand who you are in relationship, why you are, where you are, how you feel about it. All of that coming up for clarity. For those of you who are in a business type of partnership, this is going to manifest. And one other way that this can manifest, besides matters of heart, also matters of partnership where it comes to earning more money. Some plans are going to be made, some key conversations are going to happen, and all of that is leading you towards greater prosperity as part of strengthening what it is that you're doing and where it is that you desire to go as part of your vision of doing work that feels meaningful to you, that feels right to you, and feeling the support of others as you are engaged in what it is that truly matters to you. Hello, fabulous Gemini. This week, we have got such an active ruling planet for you. Mercury is happening with the new moon, is speaking with Pluto, is speaking with Jupiter. All of this action taking place, and you really are at the center of it. You're at the core of it. And what that means is, in some ways, you are going to be an activating principle for people around you right about now. In particular, I actually think that it's almost like in your downtime, you know, like in your random moments, meeting somebody, having random conversations, and that type of setting that you end up having these very interesting conversations that get you thinking differently, get you appreciating your life and possibilities and what could be in front of you to do in every area of life starts presenting itself to you. But more than that, it has to do with feeling a greater sense of fulfillment as well, feeling a greater sense of reward as well as you move forward in your life and in your days as well. Right now, your ruling planet Mercury, the sun, the new moon, all are hanging out in a part of the sky for you that has to do with your daily life and your workplace and your work environment. And that's where a shakeup is set to take place. This is really about a long overdue change finally coming about, finally allowing that overdue change to take place, to take root as well. And it's very likely now that part of that is going to include you having to decide where you fit into all this. Changes will be very quick. If you are self-employed, new clients can show up very quickly right about now. You're making agreements. There might be some contracts involved as well. If you are looking for work, this is when it really could show up very quickly for you right about now. And it's word of mouth, again, right place, right time is really going to help you a lot in terms of looking for new work. But it does look like things are shaking up. Some things are starting again. New people may be entering the picture, very possibly a new female entering the picture in your workplace as part of things changing. Ultimately, it looks like they will change to your advantage. They will change to your financial advantage at that. So as much as I see you sort of being a person who's part of facilitating change, on the one hand, at the same time, change is going to visit you as well. So it isn't just that a new client shows up, but that you have something to offer that person. You have something new to offer that ends up attracting that person into your life as well. It's that you have already demonstrated a level of where you're at, your expertise, that now allows you to make the agreement that likely will show up for you now as well. But remember, there's a connection there to prosperity. It's work, yes, but there's also a connection to prosperity, and there's a connection to what's happening on the home front as well. So if you work from home, again, if you have a home-based business, this is going to be an especially fortunate time for you, but everyone out there of your sign should notice improvements. Where it comes to matters of heart, we have Venus and Mars moving into a part of the sky that is all about flirting. This is about getting your flirt on. And with an eye to the bigger picture, with an eye to, okay, yeah, you want to flirt, you want to enjoy, but at the same time, you want commitment, or at least that's what you'll be feeling this week. Now, whether or not you normally feel that, look, Saturn right now in your opposite sign, that is getting clarity. What you actually want in partnership is getting clarity now. So this looks like a time when you're going to be willing to put yourself out there, meet more people as part of, if you're open to meeting somebody new, and just enjoying your life more, having more fun, which is a great way to have something with the real possibility to last, start to settle in. For those of you who are in an established bond, this is going to be an important time of thinking about what it is that you're creating together, where it is that you desire to go together, what it is that you desire to manifest together, and at what point, what level, in terms of if you're living with this person, how much and how is the living arrangement going? Are there any changes that need to happen? If you want children, or if you have children, that's going to be a part of this picture as well, where they're going to get a lot more of your focus, and having your partner there as part of that is going to be part of the picture as well. But overall, it does look like the energy is sweet, the energy is fun, the energy is active right about now. So this is a time to enjoy with an expanded heart, expanded perspectives, to enjoy the love that is on offer, knowing that there is plenty of it. Hello, fabulous Cancer. This week we have got such an active sky. So much is happening. And one of the great things happening for you has to do with this new moon happening in a very flirty, romantic part of your sky. I spoke about this for you in the love-focused horoscopes for the month of November. So you may want to have a look at that again. But really, this is not so much about commitment energy, not so much about partnership energy, but really about enjoying, flirting, being open to love and new love at that. So the people who are going to benefit most from this energy are going to be those who are open to meeting somebody new or just getting to know someone. It isn't so much about that partnership energy that Taurians will feel. It's more about the enjoyment of life that leads you to understand love and its place in your life as well. So it should be an enjoyable time. Make sure that you get out and about to make the most of this energy, and really the most of your willingness to get in touch with other people as well, to get to know other people as well, certainly will be there. What we also have happening in addition to this is energy moving into a very quiet part of your sky, into what we call your home, if you will, in the sky. And it has to do with areas of home. So Venus and Mars are moving into this part of the sky, speaking in harmony with Saturn. Venus in particular, precise conversation this week. So it looks like at least around the home front, there might be some investments being made, some changes being made as well. Whether you are looking to move or not, there does look like the home is about to become a more active environment, if you will. And so this is really great if you've been thinking about a home-based business, or you might just have visitors kind of show up and you have to share with them as well. So regardless how this energy works out for you, it does look like you're spending a lot more time at home. All of a sudden, home needs a lot more of your energy, but something about it also feels like your roots are being strengthened as well. And something about that feels just right. Hello, fabulous Leo. This week we have got a new moon happening at the very bottom of your sky, the very base of your chart. And what that means is matters of home are going to be getting your attention, are going to be changing. There is very likely to be some new opportunity that happens very close to the home front as well. So sometimes this can bring practical changes in terms of where you're living, buying, selling. For other times, this actually can work to your advantage by being more about your relationship with your family, particularly your family of origin. Because there's so much positive energy happening around this particular new moon, it does suggest that positive developments are taking place. Good news is happening all around as well. What I also really like about this particular new moon for you is that it is suggesting that in some ways you are getting more clear about your own relationship to yourself and your own understanding of what home is, internally as a state of spirit, but externally as well. And for those of you who live far from what you consider home, this very well could bring about a very quick, meaningful visit back to home also. Also happening this week is we've got all this harmonious energy building in a part of the sky for you, or actually energy building, let's say. We've got Venus and Mars entering a part of the sky for you that has to do with your siblings and your cousins and your neighbors as well. So these are going to be people who are going to start getting some of your attention. If you are open to meeting somebody new, these are the people who can introduce you to the right people. Or actually a neighbor might be somebody who starts looking a little bit better right around now as well. For those of you who are in an established bond, I think that a lot of the energy for you is actually going to play out on the home front in terms of wanting to spend that time with your partner, but also thinking about ways to move forward together, to move forward in your future. Thinking about what you've established with this person in order to now go out and achieve more things, whether you consider them greater, whether you consider them more meaningful as well. But what it is that the two of you could do together to achieve some of those bigger goals, particularly where it comes to financial goals, where it is that you can bring your partner in, or where is it that you can ask your partner to be a little bit more involved so that both of you end up creating greater prosperity together. Hello, fabulous Virgo. This week, we've got this new moon happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with siblings, cousins, neighbors. So these people are going to be around right about now. And there's going to be lots of conversating, lots of communicating. And I actually think when I look at this, I mean, I just see you having to pick up the phone and talk to all kinds of people. And, oh yeah, I haven't heard from you for a while. Or, okay, you know what that person told you is not actually correct. This also can be you needing to come through for a sibling or a cousin and possibly a neighbor as well. So it might be that one of these people needs a favor from you and you will score major points by following through. So if a request is made of you, if it comes up in conversation, if a little bit of help is needed, it will be remembered, and it will be remembered well also. So it might be a good idea for you to actually consider helping out. In this particular case, even with a little bit of reservation, it will help you to build a bank of good points that you can utilize at some point in the future with these same people. But not only that, of course, there is that other added element that it really would be that you come through for one of these people, and it ends up being very meaningful to all people involved as well. Where it comes to money, we now have Mars leaving your sign, we have Venus leaving your sign, both moving into a part of the sky that have to do with the money that you earn and the money that you spend as well. So both of these are about to get highlighted. Now the thing is, Venus is moving into this part of the sky, so some of those expenses might be beauty related, okay? So you might as well enjoy it because it seems very optional. But also with this particular energy happening, it just seems like making money matters to you. And because of that, opportunities to make money are going to be there. And you as well will be taking greater effort to ensure that you're able to provide for yourself and to those to whom you are responsible. You do want to pay attention. It's very possible right about now that a really nice opportunity does come about for you that helps you to create tangible prosperity for yourself also. And it could be related to, like, if you work in real estate, okay? If you're working in real estate or home-based business, those are the people who are most likely to benefit from an increase of income right about now. But all Virgos out there should notice themselves wanting to strengthen their financial picture. And as a result, taking some brave moves, taking some bold moves to move yourself towards greater prosperity. When it comes to matters of heart, I mean, as I said, it is the siblings and cousins and neighbors that are the ones who are the conduit towards new meetings. And if you are in an established bond, it is going to be a talkative time. It looks like there is going to be lots of talking happening, lots of hearts on tables, and just speaking some very deep emotions in a way that is readily understood. Hello, fabulous Libra. Well, it's a great week for you, without a doubt, okay? Even with other people, if there might be a little bit of drama, but I really don't see that much drama this week because it looks overall like a really positive picture. And I think that you are going to be the one to benefit more than most, largely because we have got, on the one hand, Venus entering your sign. So Venus, being your ruling planet, is really now returning home. This is good. But also this adds a certain magnetic quality, a certain charm as well. That part of you is only amplified as Venus enters your sign. There very likely might be a desire to change up your look in some way, especially once Mars gets in the mix as well. And so you can have some fun with that, enjoy that. But this week in particular, we are going to have Venus speaking with Saturn. So it looks like going the classical or the classic route might work more to your advantage, particularly where it comes to a financial opportunity that might show up. So if you are somebody who's looking to do more work, to have more income coming in, it very well may be that, like, your resume just finds the right person at the right time. if there ever was a time to, you know, like if you're a person who knows where you want to work or what industry or what location, this would be the time to pound the pavement. This would be the time to go with lots of resumes in hand and, you know, dressed appropriately for whatever industry you're interested in, and hand out your resume. Be prepared for very in-person, impromptu type of questions to take place and interviews to take place as well. If you can get yourself to a job fair, that also would work very well to your advantage. Whether you have already a work that you love, that's great. So this could be about connecting with others, or if you are open to changing or adding some employment, lots of cosmic help to make that happen. So make sure that you get out and about, because it is going to be random moments that end up being the most fortunate for you, and those quick conversations, those interviews on the spot that end up making a big difference. In the context of love, having Venus in your sign is good, okay? So Venus in your sign, and as I said, speaking in harmony with Saturn, this is a very stabilizing energy. So if you meet anybody now, if you're open to meeting somebody new, or you're just getting to know someone, anyone you meet now or start getting to know, there's going to be an eye to the future. It's going to be like there's potential there for this to be something that is lasting. And if you are in an established bond, I think that you'll just be feeling the love. Like, that's really what it comes down to. When you've got Venus in your sign, the universe asks you to be willing to receive love. And that's exactly what is going to be on offer now. If you're in an established bond, very likely your partner will do something to make clear that this is something that they believe is truly strong and meant to last. Hello, fabulous Scorpio. This week we've got the new moon in your sign, and it really is all about you when there's a new moon in your sign. I spoke about this in the monthly horoscope. You might want to watch that again for this month, because the new moon in your sign does suggest that in some key way you are understanding yourself differently, you are perceiving things differently. If anyone's going to get clarity, it certainly is going to be you. You are getting a big burst of clarity into who you are and what it is that you really want to do. And that really is key. What is it that you really want to do? What seed are you going to plant now so that it reaps bigger and better as you move down the road? So some ideas that you might be planning, you might start putting into place, some very small things, will continue to grow. And it might take a full 6 months when there's a full moon in your sign to truly reap benefit. But that doesn't mean you won't experience a nice boost right out of the gate right about now. If there ever was a time to hit the phones, talk to people, this is a time to be posting like regularly, or tweeting, or, you know, whatever it is that you do, whatever your preferred social media is. This is a time to be regularly updating your status for whatever it is that you're doing, or you want to do, or you're trying to do. Just doing that, engaging people that you know, will allow greater opportunities to find you as well. And this really can be in just about anything. Whatever's near and dear to your heart, you are starting on a new path with a fresh perspective into who you are. And that really has the power to change just about anything in your life. Also, where it comes to matters of the heart, the energy gets very private right about now. So it starts to be sort of a low-key, behind-the-scenes energy where it comes to love, because you are going to be so much of the focus. So what that means is, if you are in an established bond, then it's, you know, there'll be like a certain protectiveness around what you share with this person. If you are open to meeting somebody new or just getting to know someone, there might be a part of you that wants to keep it a little bit, you know, not ready to like just announce it to the world. That's probably a good idea right about now. The time will come to be a little bit more bold and making a clearer statement. But right now, especially as you're meeting people, especially as you're just getting to know somebody, it's a good idea to just let it pace itself in a smart way, in a stable way. And also to get to know whoever's with you a little bit more before you figure out where it is that this is going. Overall, the love part does look good. It does look stable, but again, it isn't a time to announce, to say, oh, we're doing this and we're doing that. It's much better to keep these things a little bit close to heart for now, anyways, as they develop and as you become more clear as to just what it is that you desire this to be and you desire others to know about what's happening with you in your romantic life. Hello, fabulous Sagittarius. This week, we have got really the big energy happening this week is, of course, the new moon happening in a really private part of the sky for you. So really active dreams. Do pay attention to that. But what we also have happening is Jupiter being activated by many things happening in the sky, as I spoke about in the introduction. Jupiter being your ruling planet. Right now at the very top of your sky. So this does suggest an overall benefit and a benefit to you understanding your direction and where you're going. But more than that, I just see this as you clearing out what you don't need as part of your path forward and as part of you understanding what direction your life is meant to go in. And so in some way, there may very well now be a realization that something that you've been doing or a pattern you've been continuing, or it might just be like the people you've been hanging out with, in some way are no longer fitting where you believe you're meant to go, what it is that you believe is your purpose, what it is that you believe you're meant to achieve in this life, your goals, your ambitions. All of these you're going to be considering from a whole other perspective as you look at what it is ultimately that you really want to do and what it is that is getting in the way. For some of you, it might not be this big consequential thing, right? It might not be necessarily related to some big goal or purpose, but it just might be that you realize, hey, I'm participating in a pattern, I'm doing something that really is not good for me. It's not good for me. It might not be good for you spiritually or health-wise, but you come to that appreciation, and it does help you make a very important change as well. But do keep in mind, as I said, you do have your ruling planet at the very top of your chart. So there is lots of career blessings happening right around this time. And the career blessings that take place are based on what you have already done. And there is a connection to the prosperity that this is going to allow you to create. So there's no need to go out there and try to make something new happen, but rather trust that you've put goodwill into place and the new will find you now. Where it comes to matters of heart, where it comes to matters of love, so much of your focus is going to be very big picture. I do really like that we have Venus and Mars moving into a very social part of the sky for you. So if you're in an established bond, you'll just be more social with your partner. If you are open to meeting somebody new or just getting to know someone as well, this is going to be a time when friends are introduced, right? You meet their friends, they meet your friends, or while you're out with your friends, you're connecting with people as well. So make sure that you are spending time with other people. That little act alone will ensure that the love that you have is made stronger, or the love that you are open to has a way of finding you. Hello, fabulous Capricorn. This week, we have got a new moon. The new moon is really the big rage. It's all the deal right about now. And it is happening for you in a part of the sky that has to do with friendships. And it is going to be your friends that open up doors for you now, that open up possibilities for you now as well. So if there ever was a time to connect with people and to go to that function, or when you get that evite to say, okay, yes, RSVP, yes, that you're going to go, this would be it, because there's a strong possibility of some networking happening that benefits you in many different ways. So the more social you can be, the more outgoing you can be, the more you're connecting with others, the more ultimately it's going to help you. Also, if you're involved in anything that has to do with like memberships you hold, any kind of groups that you belong to, this would be a good time to get involved in that even more, get a little bit more active, make a greater contribution, or even just volunteer a little bit of time. That volunteering effort that you do now will help you reap gains for a very long time to come, including financial gains in the bigger picture of your life also. So if there ever was a time to reach out and be of service, this particular new moon is saying that that would be of great benefit to you also. Where it comes to matters of heart, this particular week, we have Venus moving through and entering, and Mars for that matter, the very top of your sky. And so this to me is all about big picture, right? This is all about dreaming big. It's all about thinking about where it is ultimately that you're going. And also this has to do with legacy as well. So whoever you meet now, I mean, I think that if you meet anybody now, very possible right about now, they're going to in some way represent where you desire to go. So it could be somebody who's a boss or in a position of authority, or just someone who's in a position that you respect. So be mindful. I do really like that Saturn is speaking in harmony with Venus, because it suggests that you have eyes wide open, you're doing the smart thing, and you're pacing yourself as well. I think that with this particular conversation, it does suggest that, being impulsive and jumping in is not the route you're likely to take, which is actually really good. Let someone reveal themselves to you slowly. You've got your head on your shoulders, and again, you're feeling that you should be thinking big picture, and that instinct is right. If you're in an established bond, I actually think that your work is going to be taking a lot of your time and a lot of your attention rather. But even so, and even with that, there is right now the really strong possibility that you are going to be feeling just an inner quiet security, that you've got this person, that they've got your back as well. And that leaves you free to do what you need to do, knowing that there is love for you in the world, and love waiting for you always, providing you with that sense of security and a sense of stability as well in that partnership. There's a sense of freedom that comes from that. And I think right about now, it is a freedom that you will particularly appreciate. Hello, fabulous Aquarius. This week, we've got quite the active sky. We have got a new moon happening at the very top of your chart, the very top of your sky. This is about career and life purpose and legacy. Things are happening. Stuff is starting. A breakthrough, a deal, a power deal, all of that very much possible for you now. So we've got this new moon happening, speaking in harmony with Jupiter. So Jupiter is moving through a financial part of the sky right now, and also with Pluto in your sign just before yours. So a lot of this is going to be about what you've already been doing, what you've already been demonstrating, the things that people are saying about you without you realizing it that are now going to bring benefit to you, like the news arrives. That's what's happening now. This is a very fortunate new moon for you, where it comes to achieving just about anything that you desire to achieve. So if you have been desiring to achieve a marathon, this is the week to run it, okay? Use this new moon energy and you will do very well and connect with people. If your goal is to do something more work-related, more career-related, this is the time when things start to set in motion for you in some really wonderful ways as well. What I also really like about this energy is that connection to life purpose. And I think for those of you who maybe haven't felt as connected to that, maybe you've just been sort of in the work without thinking about the bigger picture, this is going to be a time when that bigger picture, like that pathway, can become that much more clear. Change is happening, change that leads you to greater prosperity, and new beginnings are taking place now. Key connections are being made now as well. So trust that your life is moving you in a very positive direction. When it comes to matters of love, we have Venus and Mars moving into a harmonious position for you, fellow air sign Libra. And that suggests to me That love might have you going on an adventure or traveling, or in some way getting you to see the world differently, whether that's the world of ideas or the literal world as well. So if you are in an established bond, you may have to travel with this person for some reason. Or it might be that your partner is interested in exploring another way of looking at things, is asking you to be part of it, to come along, to strengthen that bond. And it looks like it does benefit you tremendously. Those of you who are open to meeting somebody new or just getting to know somebody, this is a really good time for you to go, if you're getting to know someone, go on a date to a place that is where you're learning about philosophies or ideas. Like go to all these different places, right? I mean, there are a million places that have these types of learning environments that get you to consider other perspectives. It is going to be just that helps you to connect with this person that much more. But also if you want to meet somebody new, it's going to be these types of environments where you're considering new places, new ideas, new considerations, that ultimately it's about expanding your perspective, that at the same time expands the possibilities of love in your life as well. Hello, fabulous Pisces. This week we have got a new moon happening in fellow water sign Scorpio. So this new moon is happening, and it's happening in a part of the sky that is likely to bring about a lot of changes if you're in higher education, or if you're involved in any kind of immigration matters, long distance travel, legal matters as well. This is good. This is good energy happening for you, good developments taking place for you. And this is somebody coming through for you in a big way to make some fresh starts take place for you. So if you've got any kind of academic issues playing out right now, make sure you have a representative or someone, to align yourself with, to talk with, to help you move forward in that realm, and good developments will take place. If there ever was a time to file papers, again, if there are any kind of immigration or visa travel that you're trying to do, this is the time to file those key papers. This is the time for you to take that action to secure your place where you are, or if you've been doing that already, very well could receive some very good news right about now. And also, if you know there's a legal matter, whether you're trying to bring it to a conclusion and put it behind you, or you need to start something, do it with the energy of this new moon, and you'll have cosmic support for very good outcomes to take place for you as well. What I also really like about what's happening in the sky for you right now is that we have, where it comes to Venus and Mars, right? Very romantic planets moving into a part of the sky for you that is very sublime. It's really a part that has to do with moving beyond the superficial and having a very profound connection with another person. If you are in an established bond, this is going to make you feel that much closer to that person. You're really going to be feeling understood much more deeply. If you are just getting to know someone as well, this is you sort of seeing some truth in that person and figuring out if they fit your life and what you believe and if this works for you or not. So there is going to be a part of you that it makes an easy decision now to continue walking, or to say, okay, you know what, let me start looking in some other directions as well. And those of you who are open to meeting someone new, the superficial will just not cut it. So if you do meet anybody right now, there are going to be a couple of ways you can take this. I actually think because of Saturn, there's going to be a bit of a kind of an approach that's a little bit more measured, if you will, right? You're not likely to jump in head first. However, because Saturn is involved, it does suggest that anyone you meet now, you are going to see through any of the, any image or that they're trying to present to you. You very likely will be able to see through that. But also anyone you meet right now, if they don't, if it doesn't feel right, I mean, you know this already, right? If it feels right, you go with it. If it doesn't, you don't. But this is going to be a time when especially you will feel it or you won't, and quickly. You will know right away even before you can really articulate it, you'll get where this person is coming from and what's really happening here. And you'll know the best way forward from there as well. But overall, I think for all of us out there, there's so much positive energy this week. There's a lot of joy to be had as well. And you can find sort of spiritual significance and important changes and reflections taking place, even when things on the surface look light, look fun, and you are enjoying your life in the process as well. Well, thank you so much to all signs out there. It'll be a great week. Enjoy.